Hey guys, it's Brooke. So, as you can tell from the title, today we're going to be talking about ovulation. And I know it's probably a kind of a weird topic to talk about, but we've talked about my infertility issues on my channel already, and I've learned some things. So, I'm sorry, I'm sitting on my bed instead of at my desk like I usually do, because I noticed that when I record at my desk and it's daylight, I get some really weird lighting. I might not today because it's overcast, but I just figured I'd start here. So, last month, I decided I was going to try ovulation predictor kits. And I bought a package off of Amazon in January that had like 50 ovulation tests and 20 pregnancy tests, I think. So, I ordered that. It was only like $16 or $17. It was pretty cheap. Um, and I waited until my period was over, which is normally 5 days. Sorry, guys, if you're watching, this is going to be awkward. But they say that, from what I understand anyway, your cycle starts day number one is the first day of your period. So I waited until that was done, and then every day after my period, I tested for ovulation. And I read online somewhere that a lot of people ovulate on day 14, which is only like a week after your period. And I wasn't really sure, like, timing wise, if they were talking about day one being a day after your period, or I don't know. I was confused, but um, I just tested every day that I wasn't bleeding. Um, and I was getting really discouraged because my numbers were really low for LH. That's what you're testing for. I don't remember the name of the hormone, but um, you get like a surge or spike of it when you're like your most fertile. And they say within 48 hours on either side of that day is when you should be trying to get pregnant, if that's what you're trying to do. I am not currently trying. I just wanted to kind of know where my body is at with things. That way, if we do try, which we're thinking next year, um, I know at least right now my body is ovulating, which means I'm healthier than I was for sure. So I ended up testing every single day, getting super down on myself and discouraged because I didn't think I was ovulating. And then on day 22, I got a positive result. And I actually got positive results the day before and the day after, too. So my first positive result was on, I think, day 21. And then day 22 was the peak. It was super high. And then the day after, it was still like high-ish, but it went down a little. And I didn't test after that because I knew that that was my peak. If it went up and then it came back down again, I knew that was my peak. So, um, I think I'm going to test again this month. I just stopped my period like 3 days ago. So I'm going to wait a few more days and I'm going to start testing again. But I ovulated. And that's crazy to think about. I've never tested and I've just always kind of wondered. And you can have a period and not ovulate, and you just wouldn't know it unless you're testing. So I just think it was really cool to be able to find out for sure if I was, because my weight has been really weird lately, where like I'll lose for a while and then all of a sudden I plateau again and then I'll start gaining a couple pounds and then I drop again, and the fluctuations are really discouraging. And being that I've struggled with PCOS and infertility basically my entire life, like, well, entire since I started puberty, um, I don't know, it's just something that you don't really think to test for, but I just wanted to make sure that my body is working, and apparently it is. So I will put some little pictures either in up here or I think the thumbnail I might use a picture of my positive test so you can see what that looks like. Um, and it is kind of hard to read because in these tests, like there's a faint, you can see where the line's supposed to be, but you'll know when it's positive. It's really dark. And I will also put the description, or in the description, I will put a link for the kit that I bought for predictors. There's a lot of reviews on them, and there were some mixed reviews. Some people said that the pregnancy tests weren't very correct, that they didn't detect very early that they were 7 weeks pregnant and it still wasn't detecting. I obviously have not used those, so I don't know. Maybe they don't work, but still, um, the ovulation predictors, the LH kits, definitely work. And it's only like 16 and change, I think it was, for like 50 tests. That's insane. That's a lot. I remember back 5, 10 years ago, probably like 5 years ago, when I considered testing. Um, the kits, the only ones I knew about were at like Meyer, and I'm sure they were probably on Amazon then. I just didn't know. Um, but it was like $60 for two. I don't know if that's just because it was a name brand or what the deal was, but yeah, these are really cheap and they work. Even if the pregnancy tests aren't the most accurate, if you're wanting to test for ovulation, I highly recommend using them. Um, Even if you're not trying for a baby right now, I think it's a good idea to know if you're ovulating. That way, when you're ready to start trying, you know kind of when and if you're ovulating. So, yeah, I'm super happy to be able to know that I am. It's like a big relief because when we decided to put off trying for another year, at first I was really upset because I feel like I keep getting reminded about that biological clock. And it worried me not knowing for sure if I'm ovulating or not. And now that I know that I'm ovulating, I don't feel as worried about it. Like, I feel as long as I'm testing every, I don't know, even if it's every 6 months. So if I test another time, like maybe this summer and then maybe in December before we start trying, if we start trying next year, I feel like that would be healthy. I don't think I need to test every month, um, but I think I might test again this month just to see. But I'll wait until around the time I had my peak last month to just kind of get an idea if I am consistently ovulating. And then if I find out that I am, I'll probably stop for like until July or August and then try it again just to see where we're at. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too rambly or too weird. Not the most entertaining, but just something I wanted to share with you guys because I'm pretty excited about it. And I know a lot of people struggle with the same issues. So yeah, if you are not sure if you're ovulating, if you have PCOS, if you have a weird cycle, I would highly recommend getting these tests to see if you are ovulating because it could really relieve you to know that you are. And if you find out you're not, then you can start getting like active about it right now. Talk to your doctor and figure out why you're not. So yeah, thank you for watching. Today is Wednesday that you'll be seeing this, so I guess I'll see you all again on Saturday. I hope you're healthy and stay home if you can.